And now, more Comics Watching Comics.
My name is Rhonda Hansome, and I am an American. Yeah. I love America. I wouldn't want to be an American in any other country.
She looks like a young Wheezy from the Jeffersons. How about
Oh,
that?
she does?
A little bit.
Right? George! Okay.
The only country where blacks, Asians, Indians, and Hispanics can all be authentically portrayed by white people. I love America, and I want what every red-blooded American wants. A good job, a safe home, a beautiful Asian girlfriend. When I told my mother I wanted to go into comedy, she said, Rhonda, you should go into comedy because you come from a long line of fools. It's true. My father was a regular prankster. On their first date, he told my mother this elaborate joke. It took her 9 months to get it. She's been hysterical ever since. My mother used to call my daddy her magic man. Because one night he just disappeared. I grew up in Brooklyn. Yes, yeah.
I think the Brooklyn woo anymore is deserved. How about that?
Yeah.
No.
Maybe.
Ew, hipsters, yay. We're all from Ohio. We're not really from Brooklyn. Eat a dick.
Old Brooklyn, still gets a woo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Topeka, Kansas has more street credit than Brooklyn does now.
Right. She's got to specify. Like,
Have you
East
been
New
there?
York.
It is a very dangerous place.
Yeah.
You can get fucked up by a stroller. That's all I'm saying. They will ram that into your ankle and park slow.
Or someone with an Amish beard and suspenders on a unicycle.
Bed-Stuy, do or die. Yeah. Well, now it's Bed-Stuy. Gentrify. Yeah. I knew my neighborhood was changing. I knew my neighborhood was changing when I started seeing all of these little blondes and redheads jogging in their little shorts and walking their little dogs. And that was just the men. Yeah, I went to a Catholic school in Brooklyn. Yeah. I love the Catholic church names. They just roll right off the tongue. Our Lady of Guadalupe. Yeah. I went to St. Virgin in the Bushes. And when people see me doing comedy, they never believe that I wanted to be a nun. I swear to God, I did. I wanted to be a nun until I started to smoke and drink and play with the little boys. Yeah, that's when the Mother Superior pulled me aside and said, Rhonda, you should not be a nun if you want to smoke and drink and play with the little boys. You should be a priest.
First applause break we've heard all day.
Yeah.
The first set of jokes we've heard all day.
I'd be a hip African-American priest. I'd have a jazz mask, wear colorful kente cloths. Instead of the traditional wafer and wine, I'd use cornbread in a 40 ounce. Yeah. Peace be with you, with your mama. Yeah.
Sean Lynch.
That's a real comic.
That is.
It's a real comic. I would hire that woman. She's good.
No better praise, kids, when someone's offering you money to do something you love.
From my pocket,
Turning
no
tricks,
less.
I mean. I'm just kidding. Amy.
I think she's great. She's super comfortable with herself, and that just, it shows. We haven't seen that.
No, we have not. Jim.
I know Rhonda for years. She shouldn't be over there. She should be on the couch with us. She's that funny. Yeah, she's great.
Mr. Gurian.
The proverbial breath of fresh air. She was really, really good.
Thank God.
I like her, and it was a wonderful break to see that in the midst of all the other stuff.
The quagmire of mediocrity.
A real professional. It just shows you how it stands out. When you see it, you recognize it.
The jokes are there. She's obviously comfortable as shit. Her confidence is there. Fantastic. But let's just go through the motions. Sean Lynch, future consideration.
Yes.
Amy.
Yeah.
Jim.
Yep.
Unanimous.
Would you like to know more about Jim Mandrinos? Why not?
An unwillingness to learn. There's a whole lot of times when newer comics just do something and they're doing it incorrectly, and a veteran comic will walk up and go, "Hey, you should try this," and they're not even willing to listen or consider it. And, not everybody's advice is right for every comic, but you should at least listen when somebody's been through the trenches and say, maybe I should give that a whirl. From Sam Kennison and from Bill Hicks, and they both gave me the same piece of advice. They worded it tremendously differently, but it boils down to care about every word that's coming out of your mouth. Make sure that you're passionate about the subjects you talk about and aren't just doing something to be funny. You want to speak from the heart as much as you can. I have a camera. I take a lot of pictures, do a lot of photography. I do an awful lot of writing because I'm also a writer. So I'm usually on deadline a lot. When I was younger and dumber, it was a lot of drinking and whoring around. But things change over time. Thievery happens, and unfortunately some people do take the lazy way. Early in my career, I had a reputation for placing hands on people that did that sort of thing. It's a nice way of saying I assaulted them. But as I got older, I didn't do it. I found that also when you intimidated somebody physically, you looked like the bad guy. Later in my career, I got to the point where I'd find out where they would be performing, and I'd wait till they were on stage and then quietly pop in the back of the room and then yell out my punchline a split second before they could. And they kind of got the point of that.
Remember to vote on Twitter @ComicsWatching for your favorite panelist to see if they are the one chosen to come back next season.
Thank you for watching Comics Watching Comics. See you next week.